a difference between a first impression and an in-depth review on a bag on my specific channel. So first impression for me is going to be a month or two after I receive a bag, and I've had quite a few times to use the bag, and I'm noticing little things that are unexpected or things that I didn't really think that I was going to encounter with that bag. An in-depth review is a review that I've had the bag 6 months or longer, usually it is longer, and I know the ins and outs in depth of the actual bag. So today's video is on one of my newer bags. It is going to be a first impressions on my Louis Vuitton Graceful. And the reason why I really wanted to do a first impressions on this bag is because I have quite a few things to say. Now in today's video, we're going to do things a little bit differently. I usually save mod shots till the end, but because I already have this bag full, we're going to do things backwards. We're going to go ahead and jump into mod shots because I want you to see what this bag looks like with the actual items inside of the bag. So I have the Graceful in the MM size. I am 5'6" for reference and a size 10. That way you guys can kind of see what the MM size looks like on my body frame, and you know what type of body I have. I know on camera a lot of times it's hard to tell the size of somebody, so that is why I'm giving that information. So as you can see, I have an organizer inside of this bag. I have the Zoomoni organizer for the Graceful MM in the thin felt. I'll go over that a little bit more later on in the video. Now I actually have this bag pretty full, so it is pretty heavy, but I wanted to share with you guys the slouch of this bag when it does have an organizer inside of this bag. Again, we'll go over the organizer a little bit later. So as you can see, the bag fits perfectly fine on my shoulder. It has room from my armpit to the bag, but there isn't very much room whatsoever. I will say with the bag full, it definitely pulls it down slightly, and is also extremely comfortable when I have my arm down on the bag. Now, one of the reasons why I went for the MM size instead of the PM size is I like my bag to show. Now, as I mentioned, I am a mid-size woman, so if I went with the PM size, you wouldn't see quite as much of the bag underneath of my arm as you would with the MM size. The other reason why I went for the MM size is because I wanted a bag that's going to be slouchy with all of my everyday essentials and my work essentials inside of it. I didn't want it to look too full and too bulky, and I feel like if I would have went with the PM size with it filled up, although it would hold all of my everyday essentials, it would lose a little bit of that slouch. Now, another way that you can carry this bag is on the crook of the arm. I will admit this is not a way that I carry this bag, not very often at least. I have put it on the crook of my arm when I am running into my office building, and then I have my keys and things in my hand. But other than that, I don't think that I have ever carried this on the crook of my arm. For the sake of ease and being able to see what's inside of this bag, I am going to go ahead and take the Zoomoni organizer out of the bag, but I did want to give you guys a quick shot of what it looks like inside of the bag and how easy it is to see inside of this bag because it does have such a huge mouth opening. I did want to quickly go over my specific organizer. I got this from Zoomoni. I got it in the thinner felt rather than the thicker felt. But I will say I kind of regret that. I wish I would have went with the thicker felt. Typically when I order a Zoomoni organizer, I go for the thinner felt, which is why I went for the thinner felt this time. I do feel like the thinner felt takes up much less room inside of the bag, and it's also lighter, which is why I opted for it this time as well. However, with such a big bag, I definitely could have gotten away with going with the thicker felt. Now, the reason why I wish I would have went with the thicker felt is actually because of the pockets. Because the pockets are so thin, if I put something heavier, like a little M pouch here from Dress Up Your Purse inside of the pouch, it does kind of pull the pocket forward into the bag like this. And that's why I wish that I would have went with the thicker felt. Now, you might notice that my organizer is actually slightly different than any of the organizers you're going to see on their website. So Zoomoni actually makes their felt organizers as you place the order, and because of that, at the very bottom when you're placing your order, you can add any notes. The notes that I added is that I did not want any pockets for a cup. I wanted no cup pockets. This one typically comes with 2 cup pockets, which I feel like takes up a lot of the room, and I hardly ever carry a cup inside of my bag or a water bottle or anything like that. But I did ask for all of the other pockets. So I have a large pocket right here. I've got 2 small pockets here. And then as you can see on this side, I have one big pocket, and then a pen pocket. That is exactly the same as the inside of here. And then I just don't have the cup pockets. Okay, let's take a quick second to share with you guys what I have inside of this bag. I do have my mini M pouch from Dress Up Your Purse. I have a discount code if you are interested. I actually really prefer this pouch to my Louis Vuitton mini pochette, and that's simply because it fits better inside of my smaller bags. And as you can see behind me, I do have quite a bit of smaller bags, so this gets used more than my Louis Vuitton mini pochette here, which is a little bit thicker and a little bit wider. So if you're on the fence with the mini pochette, you don't own one already, I do recommend the mini M pouch from Dress Up Your Purse. The next thing that I have inside of here is my sunglasses inside of a soft case. Then I have my Corsica wallet. It is in a similar, or actually I think it's the same exact color as my mini M pouch from Louis Vuitton. Inside of here I just have cash and gift cards. And then I'm going to have my main cards inside of a not Tory Burch, this is a Ted Baker card holder. It has 2 slots here and 2 slots here with a middle compartment. I have my headphones down in this pocket here. I've got my key pouch from Louis Vuitton. Dress Up Your Purse does offer key pouches. I haven't purchased one yet because I'm waiting for a bigger purchase. Next time I order a bag from Dress Up Your Purse, which you all know I will because I absolutely love the brand, I'm gonna go ahead and order a key pouch to go with that purse because I find that this one is really hard for me to see with it being so dark. I have a reading journal here, and then I'm going to have my Kindle right here and my iPhone 13 Pro Max, and as you can see, all of that fits inside of here very well. And then I wanted to quickly share with you guys, my MacBook does fit inside of here. I think this is the size 13-inch, but I could be wrong, and it slips right down inside of there very easily. I usually put it in there horizontally, but you can fit it in there vertically as well, and it shows kind of a little bit because of the slouch, but the actual shape of the bag or the size of the bag, it is long enough to cover that. I'm sorry guys, I feel like I was a hot mess in that last portion. If you made it through that last portion, let me know. Leave a little light pink heart down in the comments below, light pink because of the interior of this bag, letting me know that you made it through my struggle portion of what fits inside of the bag and the Zumoni organizer. So let's go ahead and look at the details of this bag. You're going to have a nice thick strap here, which is very comfortable on the shoulder. And because it is only one strap, I find that I don't have any issues at all with it slipping off of my shoulder. Whereas other bags like this one here with the 2 straps, this bag slips off of my shoulder extremely easily. And I think it's because it has 2 straps rather than the 1 strap. As far as the shape of this bag goes, you can see it's kind of just a big square or a rectangle. It's more of a square than an actual rectangle. But as soon as you put items inside of here, and even when you don't have items inside of here, it's going to have some slouch, which in my opinion makes it a little bit more fun to look at. When it's a big square, it almost is very unimpressive, at least to me, but when you add this slouch to it, it completely changes the vibe of the bag. It does come with a little tag here, and you can get this hot stamped. I believe it's free to get it hot stamped, although I haven't seen my SA because I did order this online. He was on vacation when I ordered this, and so I haven't seen him yet. I don't think I'm going to get mine hot stamped. I don't know, I don't like my initials on things. That's just not my vibe. So I don't think that I will get it hot stamped, although I do think that adding this little tag here does add something to this bag because it is quite a simple bag. You are going to have minimal hardware, although it is gold hardware, so you can see the little buckle there, you can see the D-ring here. You're going to have little rings here as well on either side of the bag. And then as far as logos go, you do have the embossed Louis Vuitton here. Now that we've gotten mod shots out of the way, my Zoom Only organizer that I like to carry inside of this bag, and we've gone over the details of this bag, I wanted to share with you guys my opinion, my first impressions of this bag. The first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that this bag does not slip off of your shoulder, which was a huge concern of mine. When it comes to shoulder bags, I feel like they often do slip off of my shoulders, but because of the thicker strap on this bag and the fact that there's only one strap, it is a bag that stays on my shoulder. Whereas something like my Bottega Veneta, where it has a really thick strap, this one falls off of my shoulder because it's almost too thick and it pops off of my shoulder. This one is the perfect thickness to make it stay. Another thing that I want to talk about is the weight of this bag. I had somebody tell me that this bag is heavy. You guys, this bag is extremely lightweight. It's one of my lightest bags in my collection. There's hardly any hardware on this bag. Even though it is a larger bag, there isn't much leather on it. So it's really a lightweight bag. And when I have all of my items inside of this bag, including my laptop, I don't find it to be uncomfortable on my shoulder. I will say it is uncomfortable carrying it on the crook of my arm when I have all of those items inside, but I don't typically carry the bag that way, so that really doesn't matter to me. Because of the large mouth opening on this bag is extremely easy to use. I can find all of my items instantly. It doesn't matter if I have the organizer in here or not, because it is so open. You can see very easily the light goes straight into there. It's not a black hole. It does have the lighter interior, and you can open it wide enough where you're not going to have any issue at all trying to see what's inside of this bag. As far as the magnet goes, it is a very weak magnet in my opinion. I've heard people say it's a strong magnet. I don't know where they are getting that from, because in my opinion, it is very weak. As soon as you put something in here, it'll literally just pop back open. It does close on its own when it finds itself, but for the most part, it does stay open. I don't mind the fact that there is a magnet there, and I don't mind the fact that if there wasn't a magnet there. To me, it's one of those things where I do like the little Louis Vuitton tab. Again, this is a very plain and simple bag, so I feel like the tiny little details like this add something extra to the design, but at the same time, it's not a necessary feature of the bag. And the last thing that I wanted to address is wear and tear. Now, I've only had this bag for a little over a month now, so I can't actually address what type of wear and tear I may have on this bag. It's brand new, it's in brand new condition. But a lot of you guys asked me if I was worried about a few things. Some of you guys asked me if I was worried about the corners. It is known that the Graceful does get quite a bit of corner wear over time. Another question I got is about the vachetta. Am I worried or concerned about the vachetta? And lastly, about the Damier Azur canvas. I have to be honest with you guys, when it comes to my handbags, those types of things are things that I don't actually worry about. When I only had 1 or 2 handbags in my collection, absolutely, I wanted to keep them pristine. But I purchased this bag to be a workhorse bag. I knew it was going to get messed up. I knew it was going to get dirty and dingy. And the one that I love the most out of all of the Gracefuls is this particular one. So I didn't want to settle on the Louis Vuitton monogram or the Damier Ebene canvas, knowing that this is the one that I love the most. This one also goes better with my color palette. For example, if I were to wear this bag with my outfit today, it looks fine. It goes well with my outfit. This is a color that I wear often. I love greens, and it has pink in it as well. Whereas if I were to wear this one with my outfit, I guess it goes okay because it is earthy tones, but in my personal opinion, this one matches my outfit better than this one does. And because the Graceful is intended to be an everyday bag for me, a work bag, I wanted it to be a color palette that actually goes well with the majority of my wardrobe. And because of that, I went for this one. As far as the vachetta goes, it doesn't really worry me. Again, this is supposed to be a workhorse bag, but even more so than that, I really love the look of vachetta. I have quite a few bags with vachetta on them. For example, here is my Louis Vuitton Alma BB that has the pre-tanned vachetta. So eventually this color of vachetta is going to be the same color as this. And I find that this color is beautiful. And I think that this color of vachetta looks perfectly fine with this bag. So I'm not concerned about the vachetta oxidizing over time. That's something that I am well aware of. We all know that that is going to happen. And I'm also not concerned about water spots. I did go ahead and spray mine with Apple Guard. There's lots of research out there saying that you should not spray your bags with Apple Guard. I do it once a year, if that, and it just makes me slightly more comfortable. But I also live in a climate where it does not snow and it hardly ever rains here, so I'm not too concerned about the vachetta whatsoever. As far as the corner wear goes, if it shows corner wear over time, then so be it. Like I said, this is a workhorse bag. It's one of those bags that I feel like the more I use it, the more beat up it looks, the darker the vachetta looks, the more corner wear it has. I'm gonna feel like, yep, that bag was meant to be my work bag. Does that make sense? It's meant to be the workhorse bag, so I'm not concerned about keeping it pristine, although I will definitely take care of it and try to keep it pristine as long as I can. It's not necessarily a concern or worry of mine. Before I wrap this video up, I have two other organizers that I wanted to share with you guys. This one again is from Zumoni. It's a smaller organizer. Now the reason why I'm sharing this one with you guys is one, it has the cup holder that I was referring to earlier, but two, if you like the Graceful to be extremely slouchy, go for a smaller organizer. I found that this fit perfectly inside of the bag. Perfectly meaning it fit perfectly in the bottom of the bag. It's not a tight fit whatsoever. As you can see, there is a huge difference. This one can literally fit inside of that one. And there was plenty of room around the bag to fit around the organizer to fit my bigger items. But it allowed the bottom of the bag to have a little bit of slouch in the corners, where the corners were kind of folding in a little bit rather than it being so structured at the bottom. So if you want it to be extremely slouchy, go for a smaller organizer. You probably already have one in your collection. And lastly, I wanted to talk about this one. This is from DGAZ. It is a thicker organizer, so it has a thicker material, but it is a satiny material. This one goes up higher than my Zumoni one. So if you want your bag to be slightly more structured, if you don't like the slouch quite as much, I would go for this one. This one still allows for some slouch at the top, some droopiness at the top, but it's not going to be extremely slouchy like you're seeing with my Zumoni organizer. I actually use my DGAZ organizer inside of my Kuana small tote bag, and that's because this bag is extremely floppy and it needs something that is more structured, and the height of this organizer is perfect for this particular bag. So overall, my first impressions are that I am obsessed with this bag. I can't believe I didn't add it to my collection sooner. It has been everything that I wanted it to be, plus more, and I have to admit, you guys, it has taken the place of my Speedy B25. My Speedy 25 is a bag that I've had at 2 years now. In January, it'll be 2 years, so 3 months shy of 2 years. And I have to say, this bag was my most used bag for the last 2 years. But I don't like the fact that it has a smaller opening, so I can't fit my larger items inside of here. Like my A5 binder, I cannot fit inside of here because of the small opening. So therefore, this bag has been so much easier to use, especially for work, because it has this massive large opening. And because of that, I have been gravitating towards this bag so much more. And I have to admit, I've actually been noticing more flaws with this bag ever since I got this bag that I hadn't noticed before, because I felt like this one used to be my most practical bag. Now I feel like my Graceful is. So if you guys would like a comparison between the Speedy B25 and the Graceful MM, please let me know. I will be happy to do one for you.